What's up, everyone, and welcome to the stream. We can play a new game today. What remains with Finch. Looks like it's just starting up. Like, okay. Is this a controller? Oh, it's we're looking around. Okay, we got a bag. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we have a cast on.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Benji, come here.
Someone had
Okay,
put up a
cool.
chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Benji. Huh.
My brother Milton disappeared when I was 4. It was like the house just swallowed him up.
What? 92. He was born. So he disappeared in 2001. Or no, 2003? Yeah. Indian white. Looks like the
I
burrow
lived
from
here
Harry
until I was
Potter.
11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
11, just like him. How we doing, Jaeger? Welcome. How do we interact? Okay, there's Milton on the... Okay, Milton and Edith. And everybody else on this is dead except for Sanjay, Kay, Ingeborg, and Sven. Angie, come here. 1 second. He wants in, he wants out, he wants in, he wants out. Here it comes. Okay, we're back. Yeah, we had leftovers from the party from yesterday. Okay. Right trigger.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open
Oof.
immediately.
Okay. And then there's also newspapers there. Oh, interesting. We can see, like, down our front. Orcas Island Gazette. It's like a recreation of the house a little bit.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
So, wait a minute. So she was born 7 years after Milton. So she was 11 when she left, and her brother Lewis died in 2010. So he was born in 88, so he was pretty young. $22? Yeah. Huh. Interesting. This property is protected by video surveillance. Prosecutors will be trespassed. Get it? Alright, so that means there's power. Power running to the house, maybe? I don't see any cameras around here, though.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
So we can go down or up. Let's go up.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Hoof prints. Alright, this looks like the... Oh yeah, there's a deer. Alright, I'm gonna let it be and go the other way for now. The atmosphere is pretty crazy. Whoa. Those are all missing. Is this music too loud? By the way, can you hear me alright? Comparatively to the game? Okay, perfect. So it's interesting that there's a lot of missing posters for her brother all down here. Alright, let's cross the stream.
The truth
Even
is,
though the Ghostbusters told us not
even
to.
after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
There's another missing poster. Okay, over the
The
bridge
woods
we
around the
go.
house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to
All
say something,
roads.
but never do.
Let's take a look at our achievement list here. I want to see how many there are. There's 9 achievements. None that are hidden. Oh, okay. So we actually got an achievement already that the all roads, it says take both paths to the house. Huh. Wow. The soundscape is even pretty good. It reacted as if I was coming from the front. I only wish I could run, but that's okay. Whoa, look at this.
The house was exactly
It
like
would
I
be.
remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Wow. Alright, here we go.
I asked Edie once
that a
about the
sea
dragon in
creature?
the pond. She said it had killed her
Yeah.
husband. I was 6.
What?
It seemed like an odd joke to me, even then.
More missing posters.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Huh. Okay. That's the key. Can we go around the back? Oh, we got wind chimes. Dog flap.
Prowling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Huh. Whoa. That's cool.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Well, let's turn it back on.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
Oh, we can't go back the way we came?
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
Flowers of India, Testina, Thailand, Flour, Salt, Water, Yeast, Fanny Farmer Junior Cookbook, The Book of Mushrooms, Smoke in the Forest, A Pie for Piper, Cosmic Cuisine, and the Pleasures of Japanese Cookbook. Interesting. Thanks, Erasmus. Good
Or
to
how
see
after
you.
Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Molly, kitten, apple pie. Oh yeah, look at all that salmon. Made of meat, a good table. Okay, so a few repeats, but for the most part, like Cosmic Cuisine, for the most part, new books, which is pretty cool.
Nothing
Lot
in
of
the house
cookbooks,
looked
though.
abnormal. There was just too much of it. Like a smile with too many teeth.
Yeah. Too many books, too many pictures.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Why is this door?
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
Sealed. So, finches, and there's a stained glass of a finch. That's cool. Okay, Edie, Dawn, Milton, Lewis, and Edith. And we are Edith. So why can't we grab our own mail? So that's a peephole. So that looks exactly like the one that's in the garage. Huh. Excuse me. So January 2010 is when we left. So that's Stowe. Yeah.
The
From
table
Cove
was
to
still a
Stowe.
wreck from the night we left.
Oh, people have names on their
It was like a bomb had gone
chairs.
off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Huh. Heji sauce. So there's a window into the garage. So it was an add-on. Oh, the reason that one has the label Edie is because she was in a wheelchair. Edie died in 2010, along with Lewis. Interesting. Oh yeah, look at the back lake there. Is that that's something weird out there. Huh. Oh, that's a cool table. Guess that was where the cat was.
Great Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Hey, it's a Bigfoot in there. I think that's Edith there, and then her two brothers.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Huh. Cool collection of bugs. Alright, so
Even the fireplace
there's
had
more
a
to the
story.
house.
Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
It sank, huh? It went up the chimney. Interesting. So that must be the original house there. Oh wow, look the upstairs. Alright, I guess we're going upstairs. Look at all these books. Barbara Finch died in 1960.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
And the library, apparently.
Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Huh. Alright, let's check out some of these peepholes, I guess.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is
Barbara
Barbara.
Finch and the Bigfoot. Huh. So she was in a Bigfoot film.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
There's a wire running there into Barbara's room. Angela Vineyards, Angelati Vineyards, 2012. Orange Tabby. If that's a 2012, then if we left in 2010.
Edie's father Odin built the original house.
Odin. Oh, yeah, 1880 to 1937. Alright, let's check out the people.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Interesting. See a Bigfoot with the baby. Was there a cord in there? No. So is there a plug? That's a plug, okay. Whoa. That room's open and it's creeping me out. Molly.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
There's the fireplace. Now that room looks a little creepy. Huh. Beautiful door. I'm not going in there yet. Edie and
The
Sven.
last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
So Edie and Sven were married. Gregory.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
It's a bathroom. He was 1 year old. Oh, shag carpet for a bathroom?
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
Ooh. What does that mean? Sam and Calvin. Calvin was 11 as well. Gregory was 1 year old. Walter survived past 11. Calvin did not. Molly was 10. Milton was 11. Lewis was 22. Molly, so Barbara was 16. Sam was 33. Okay, so 11 seems to be a number of something. That's interesting.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
But Walter's room doesn't have a plaque on it.
I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
That looks like the lake. The structure in the lake out there. Yeah, I think that's what that is.
Lewis told me
What do we
there were
got
secret
here?
passages, but I never believed him.
Hey.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Alright, here we go, everyone.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Huh.
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Interesting. So the closet was a secret passage.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Yeah. What's that? Oh, it's a little caterpillar. Can we open that up? Looks like there's a thing that escaped. Starfish. December 1947. Molly. Yep, 47's when she died. At the age of 10.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. My Halloween candy was all gone. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I kept eating and eating.
Oh.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Oh boy.
Then I heard chirping outside my window. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Oh, it's a fish.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
Hi, Christopher.
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest.
Hi, little guy.
I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
What? Wait, what was their cat's name?
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
The house is still active out there. It's flashing. It's Christmas. Interesting. Huh.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Oh, the garage wasn't even built yet. Interesting. So we got a statue over here, looks like.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Got a treehouse out here.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
So this is before we had a deck out back. But we do have stuff down there.
I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
We saw some rabbits. That's one.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. So suddenly, I was a shark.
What in the world?
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Okay, we've got a boat here.
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good. Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
I'm a secret.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Oh, we're on ferry.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Oh my.
Belly was rusty, razor, his belly was rusty, his belly was rusty, razor, What's to do with a drunken sailor? What's to do with a drunken sailor? What's to do with a drunken sailor? Put him in the captain's daughter, put him in bed with the captain's daughter, put him in bed with the captain's daughter. What's to do with a drunken sailor? What's to do with a drunken sailor? What's to do
What do you do with a drunken sailor lying in the morning? Till he's sober, shove him in the longboat till he's sober, lying in the morning.
What's to do with a drunken sailor? What's to do with a drunken sailor? What's to do with a drunken sailor? Put him in the scuppers or a hose pipe, hold him. Put him in the scuppers or a hose pipe, hold him. Put him in the scuppers or a hose pipe, hold him. What's to do with a drunken sailor? What's to do with a drunken sailor? What's to do
What shall we do with a drunken sailor lying in the morning? Heave-ho, up she rises, heave-ho, up she rises early in the morning. Nom, 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 nom.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
This is weird. Bathroom. Can we go up so we can see what we look like?
I got closer and
Guess not.
closer.
Oh, it's our room. We're in the house. I don't like that. Not one bit.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. It's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Oh.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Like the sharks.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Yeah. There's the owl and the cat. Interesting. There's the porch.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories.
Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Uh-huh. I was right. Right, there's the tree house. And the big tree, that other tree is snapped.
I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room.
Oh wow. Look at all these birds. Slurpee. Is that a frog? No, it's an iguana. Snake. Lots of pets.
We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
Huh. Barbara, Calvin, and Sam. Molly. Walter. It's the whole family.
Her room was like a museum.
Odin. Wow.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
So, like,
Louis
what
died
we
a week
have
before we
on.
left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Interesting. Louis and Edie died the same year, so she died after him. She's the one that was painting the, so she's the painter. Louis. Huh.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man
Oh
living under
man,
the Finch
beneath
house.
the Finch house.
My mom was furious.
Edith. Junior Lake trip.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Refused to leave because of a little forest fire. Built 1937
When Edie
Sven
told people
Finch.
Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
That sucks. Oh my god, she drew the slide. She drew his death. Interesting. Oh, look, it's blueprints of the house. Right side elevation.
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Okay.
It was a pretty big trace.
Yeah. Secret room. Alright, let's...
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Edith Jr. Oh, I see. So who's the first Edith? Oh, Edie. Makes sense.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout
Yeah,
Norway for
don't
their
worry.
fortune
I got it.
and misfortune.
I wasn't gonna go further without.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johann.
Family curse. Ingeborg. So people who are outside of the family are leaves, I guess? Or
On January 7th,
Johann. Why is Johann not in here?
1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
And his house? This is the house that sunk.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Huh.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on
That's
their
the
new home,
ruins off the coast,
Orcas
I guess?
Odin Finch is the
Yeah,
first
we're on
to be
Orcas
buried in the new
Island.
family cemetery.
Huh.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
There's the fireplace and the the living room. Huh.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long
I
ways.
see. So there's a curse. Good to know. How are you doing, Cave? Good. So, yeah, we're definitely in Washington with these Mount Rainiers. There's a secret in this bathroom by Sven and Edie Finch.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Huh. Oh, is this a photography? It's a
Sven
dark
gave
room?
Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Alright, Sam's there. Calvin Finch. It's his grave. I do remember Calvin had a like a rocket type room on his side through the peephole. Looks like we're gonna be doing Calvin and Sam next. Yeah. Milton. Milton was here. Fort Calvin. Cool. Alright, bud, have a good one. Thanks for being here. Measurements. Smoky Joe's.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
Yeah. So, military versus space. Finch National Park, huh? Orcas Island Regional.
And that he never talked about him.
Huh, soldier and astronaut. Yeah, there's the measurements. 68. So he kept measuring himself after. Yeesh. Yeah, and there's the, oh yeah. So it's Calvin's wearing the space helmet. Explore the universe.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Huh. There's Calvin's memorial.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
He's got a broken ankle.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
I'm an
maybe if the
astronaut.
wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Do it.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Interesting.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
We've got another cord here.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Huh. Nice. There's so many secret passages in this area.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Oh. It's the stairwell. So that plug... Huh. Oh, shortcut. Nice. And then we got Barbara's room. Alright. Oh, the wine cellar. Huh. Yeah, that's the house, the original house. Okay, we can't go back to Molly's room. Oh, there's the saw that cut the house. Interesting. So we've been in all three of these rooms now. That's been reset. So the pictures in the viewfinders aren't correct compared to what we have seen. What we've done, I should say. Alright, let's go back into Barbara's room. Child stars, right. She's got the big foot.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Huh.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Barb Street. So she died at 16. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yep. On her birthday?
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here
Old
with
Jack.
another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been.
Penelope's
But in a
diner.
lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current
Oh, boy.
boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the
Ow.
emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
That's a cool key. Oh, we get to go in. We're really controlling.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
Nice. Got an achievement for that. Is there a red handprint there?
The gang's leader
barber
is the
shop?
infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Lovely. It's a big ass basement.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear! Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the Late Late Picture Show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Walter, 2005. Huh. So he lasted a lot longer. A swing. That's not correct. There's supposed to be a lake there. I guess we can't go into the kitchen. Library is not enterable. It's interesting the amount of details that they have here versus not have. Right? Okay, can't go down there. Walter's room.
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And here he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
So we go through the crawl space.
That night, she played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet. Vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Nothing there.
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. Was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
Surprise!
You were wonderful.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true.
Interesting.
She saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately,
But stardom
so
had
did
a
her
taste for her, too.
fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Huh.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Wow.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
There's all the different ghoulies. Interesting. Huh. I'll be right back. Saying goodnight to Gabrielle. Okay, we're back.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Yeah. No kidding. Nice. Oh, that's the statue for the graveyard. I get it. Alright, let's take a look at the basement, I guess. Here's Sven's workshop. Oh, here's the dragon, and then wood carvings for people who died.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Hot water heater, got it.
I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Aha. Another secret passage.
I remember
my.
asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
Where'd the power come from? Guess it sounds like a generator.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
As
If
he
there's
could.
a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Huh. Ah, so when he died. Wow. Interesting. Cooking. First aid kit.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
Shaking.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow.
Just drinking from the can. Huh.
But if you wait long enough,
So it shakes
you get used to
every
anything.
day at 12.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
So he hid from the monster.
And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Huh. Jeez. Jiggly Farms. Grape jelly.
I know it's out there somewhere.
Alvin cereal.
Whatever killed Barbara
Oh, that monster.
and Molly
And Molly.
and Calvin.
And Calvin. And oh, this is where he's been dumping all his trash, I guess. Huh.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
Interesting. It's a train. We're gonna get hit by a train.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Wow. As soon as he came out.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Interesting. So something tells me that these memories are slightly skewed from what reality is, but I'm not sure how.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house...
How's there a train that's running?
I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
Okay, so that's real.
I don't want to make
There's
the
all the
same mistakes she
refuse.
made. trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two,
If her brother's still
I thought
alive.
it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Huh. Yeah. Okay, so that train doesn't get used anymore? I guess.
I don't know if I
Okay,
should
there
even be writing
is
this.
a glow. It's a chair.
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Solar power light. There's more chairs and trees. Why?
But I thought you should know about your family.
Oh, here's the dream
And the
that
history
she
you're a
crawled
part
up
of.
into. It's the dock. And there's town. Huh.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Yeah. So there's totem poles here. More of them. Looks like the dock is fully broken. Yeah, I can't go any further. Alright, so up we go. Oh, look at the water tower there.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Yeah. This is the tree that Calvin swung off of.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
That's a fair point.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but The pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Zerpy, Lurpy, Furpy, Chirpy, Burpy, Derpy, and Derpy Jr. And then Lucy, Daisy, Charlie, Tucker, Coco, and Zoe. Huh. Oliver, Bob, Shadow, Christopher. Oh, there's Christopher. Shotzi. We don't know the frog's name. Bailey. Molly had a gerbil too. So the fish died the same year as Molly. Lurpy is probably not hers. It probably was Burpy or Chirpy. Anyway.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Molly. She died 2 days after her birthday. Walter broke a hole in the wall, yeah. So these are the people we know about already.
I'm sure Odin's
What about
monument
the
had
rest
been
of the
Edie's
people?
idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
It's Sven and Edie.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Yep.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Huh. Some more
But the older
graves
I
over
get,
here.
the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do
Sam,
better.
Gregory, Gus. So her mom was Dawn, I guess? 2016, yeah. Milton was the painter. They never put a death date because they never accepted he died.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Sanjay Kumar and Louis Finch.
so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Back up here again.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ah. Boy, oh boy. Okay, so that's a BB bump. Got it. You have many questions about that comment?
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Huh.
They were both pretty intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Interesting. She being pregnant, yeah. Alright, so that's Sam's.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Gotta look through that. Yeah, who? Why is she doing this? I mean, she's probably worried about passing on that curse, right? Okay. Okay is the spouse, I think. Okay, Finch. Ticket. It's another photographer. Took a picture of himself.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm?
Perfect.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything? It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it?
There's a truck.
Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. The camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though. Aw.
The bird. Ominous. Cedars.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. nothing quite like being outside.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
Oop. A little more gas in the tank, I guess. I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you need to... Great shot, Don!
Thanks. Oh.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay? Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Wow.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Yep, there he is. All his medals and his gun. Interesting. Huh. Another secret passage.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Is that still her brother's? Is that still Milton's stuff? Gregory. So Gregory died very early, only 1 year. Yeah. Dawn.
I can't imagine my mom ever
Bear,
writing poetry.
and then
Yeah.
Gus. Alright. So rock wall up.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
Interesting.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Huh. Emergency evacuation plan. Gus, Dawn, and Gregory. No playing outside without permission, no answering the door for strangers, no messes after dark, all chores before dark, respect others. Raise flag, breakfast, quiet time, duties, Dawn sweep and trash, Gus mop and mow, Greg be a baby. But Greg was only a baby for a year. Alright, let's go up. You know what? Let's not go up. I don't want to miss anything. Also, because we're pregnant. So, alright, let's do the baby, I think. Divorce contract.
Do you remember the way Gregory
Sam and
used to
Kay.
laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
It's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Maybe if I had, what, that night? Called that night.
Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish you could have.
Oh boy.
I'd be happy to. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
So she divorced us after Gregory. And he died in the bathtub. Well, us, I mean... Wow. I mean him. Alright. Home for
poem
Gus.
for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Oh boy. What's gonna happen here?
When the time for
Oh,
photos
that's the
came,
totem
Dad ordered
pole.
him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
It's starting to rain. Oh boy.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
This is nuts. Lightning. Oh boy.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Interesting.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Interesting. Looks like we got a lock here. With sympathy, deep sympathy.
She spent a summer
slide back
building
in.
houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Don and Sanjay. Got it. Oh yeah, there she is. Dawn Finch.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Fly to India. 10 ways to teach critical thinking. Alright, so where do we go from here? Strength, respect, teamwork. Yeah, there's his frog. I think we gotta go back up.
My mom
There we
moved to
go.
India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later.
Got it.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back
Don, Lewis, Milton.
and to see kids in the house again.
Huh. Castle. Edith. Huh.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Interesting. They were homeschooled. Those
But it
books are
didn't
not in
last.
alphabetical order. Finch. The Curse. Myth. History. To Teach and Learn by Don Finch. This is probably going to see your passage, maybe.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Alright, let's see if we can use the front door. Oh, we've got a
After Milton
peeker.
disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Huh. So it's door. Whoa. This was
I think Edie was
done
happy to
by a
finally have
kid?
another painter in the family.
Huh. Wow. Alright, this might be our last story
Milton
for
Finch
tonight.
in The Magic Paintbrush.
Oh, it's a flip book. Flip book of a flip book. Okay, the door is an actual door. Huh.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Of another of their games. Oh, interesting. Hey, that's... He wasn't like that before, was he? Oh, there's the whole other side. I see a door. Okay, there's a... Huh. There's a stair going down. So we can't get through that door, but we can go
Whatever Milton
elsewhere.
had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
So when can we get back into the
Mom
house
definitely
downstairs?
blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Alright, so how do we get down? Lewis.
Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis. Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on. Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them.
PlayStation.
He died a lot.
He's a high school graduate. Institute of Psychology.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more.
Whoa.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery.
He's gonna kill himself.
I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Puppy.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play.
He's growing.
He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Hey, that's my reference.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Oh boy.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis.
St. Louis.
He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Louis.
Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Interesting.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a Handsome queen.
I like that you can choose. Very cool.
The queen was on her own quest for
Sinister serpents.
sinister serpents. He followed the sound of her
Electric sitar.
electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
It's taken over our whole vision now.
He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Emperor. God?
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Oh. Huh. There's this stuff that legalized marijuana.
He began to forget the
Game
world we
tablet.
know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Is he gonna kill himself?
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
He's not even grabbing.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Nice.
Including
getting
the
close
wise
to the
Calvin
end.
who'd insisted on advising him.
There's Molly.
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Wow.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Just one more left. Or two more left. Edie and Mom. Alright. Was that a save? I think that was a save.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
Wow.
But I understand why we left.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Yeah, I think we've got...
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
only a very little
Maybe
amount
you
of
should've
time
come
left,
sooner.
so... I think we'll just try and push through.
But it had to end one way or another.
All that's left now
Wow.
is to tell you about that last night.
It's a quill.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are
Edith,
very
I
specific.
left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our
I'm
last...
not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
What's in the hall?
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sailed the library, I don't think she knew about the other
library.
entrance. Or that Edie
Got
had
it,
a
there's
key
a
to
secret
it.
entrance.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
History of the Finches.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years.
So
God,
I
it
must be
smelled
Edith right
awful.
now. Edie?
No, I've seen that house every day of my life. but I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. I started seeing things.
Like the deer. That's the same animation as before.
Things I'd forgotten
Smart.
had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Huh. Same animation as the other gate.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
Oh boy.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Huh.
After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
Dolphin. So we're gonna need to go to the library to finish the story.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and
Dawn
then she
Finch.
didn't.
October 10th, 2016.
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes and appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you.
Oh.
But now I hope you'll never see it.
The baby.
I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Interesting.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Oh, so we're not Edith. Oh. Or we are, okay. Interesting. Huh. So we didn't get to see for Shirley Dallas. We didn't get to see what caused the curse. GG. What a cool story. Very immersive. Just wish we knew some more answers. So what game was her brother in? That escaped. Thanks, Johan. Got that achievement. It's a really sad story. But like, what's the house about? Annapurna Interactive. All these pictures are really cute. Nice. Look at all those playtesters. The end. Nice. Okay. So we can replay stories, that's cool.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, my brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly. But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Nice, we got the achievement for Loop de Loop for doing it again. Alright, we got one more to replay to get 100%, and that's Molly. We have to get 2 rabbits and 2 swoops.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I ate a lot of things that night. I kept eating and eating. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
That's one.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit.
Replay. We need to get into
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. I kept eating and eating. I ate a lot of things that night. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
And suddenly I was a cat.
And suddenly, I was a cat. I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it. I gobbled her up.
There we go.
And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Got you.
I imagined his face looking up. And
I know it
seeing mine
does.
through my
Yeah, we
talons.
just beat it, Missy.
I swallowed him
We're
up,
getting the last
and I
achievement
didn't
so that we
chew
can
one bit.
be 100%
Then I
on this
flew off
game.
to
But
find something bigger.
yeah, what a game. Oh no. We fucked up. Alright. That's annoying. I accidentally hit the trigger. We need to get 2 rabbits and 2 swoops.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone
Sounds
soon,
annoying.
but I wanted to tell somebody
How
about
are you,
what's
Missy?
gonna happen.
Welcome.
It started when Mom sent me to bed
It's a good game.
without dinner.
I just
woke up
wish
and
it
I
had
was
more
starving,
answers to it.
So I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. I kept eating and eating.
Alright, well, surely we'll get it this time.
I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest.
It's night.
I reached out for her.
It's been going well because we played and we started playing this game today, and we're obviously beating it today. But
I was a cat.
of the short games that I've been playing recently, this is probably one of my favorites.
But the bird was really scared. I jumped and I almost got her.
So if you haven't ever been here
Now,
before,
I was
Missy,
up in a big tree.
we
promised
play
Dad I wouldn't
a
climb
variety
it
of
anymore.
games. We're a variety streamer.
All I cared about was I gobbled her up.
I like doing adventure games and stuff like that.
And suddenly,
So,
I was an owl.
You might see some stuff that we've played
All I
that you
heard
like.
was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling the grass. Rabbits.
Come on. There we go.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find a mama rabbit.
Yes. There we go. There we go. GG. Okay. That's it for us. For this game. What a great game. Really liked the art style, liked the storytelling, the variety and everything. Definitely gets you in the feels. But it left more questions at the end than answers. So what gives? Anyway, so we wanted to go to bed around 12 o'clock or a little bit earlier than that. But I sensed that we were getting close to the end before. And now that we are way over time, I think we're going to end it for tonight. But excellent game. Missy, really good to see you. If you would like to give us a follow and check us out in the future, we also have a Discord. Either way, good to have you while you've been here. But we're going to head out for tonight. Sorry for you to catch the end of stream here. But have a good night and be safe, everyone. We will be back tomorrow for more. I've got to figure out what we're going to play next. I think we might try Never Alone, maybe, or The Gardens Between, or maybe even Never Song. One of those. All right, have a good night. Be safe, be well. We'll see you soon. Bye.